Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with another replay from the tournament. This time Crabling's GRIMGOR are going to be taking on Ceremis Skaven. So let's get to the army lists. GRIMGOR are going to be leading the way for the Greenskins, of course. He's got a front line of Black Orcs mixed with Orc Boys, a few Savage Orcs as well, so just lots and lots of mobs here. Got some Goblin Archers, Rusty Heirs. Over on the side looks like some Squig Hoppers, and probably, yep, more Squig Hoppers over here. He's got a Orc Shaman, so a nice wide list. For the Skaven, it's got two Doom Wheels, a couple of Rat Ogres, Warp Lightning Cannon being protected by some Skaven Slave Spears. Looks like some Slave Slingers as well, a Grey Seer Lore of Plague up on the bell. More Rat Ogres and Clan Rats in the front line, and yeah, more scattered around the side as well. Here's that second Doom Wheel. And you can see the Squig's going to be doing some good scouting here. They are able to spot the units that are hidden in the woods here. You can see then Crabbling going to go ahead and pull them back. But GRIMGOR doing what he should and just advancing nice and patiently here, waiting for everything to get into position before popping that sweet wah right on the charge. Potentially. We'll see if Crabbling's able to get that off there, but regardless, he's got his work cut out for him. You know, this is a pretty intense Skaven list, and with the bell and the two Doom Wheels, it could potentially be pretty tough to deal with. The Doom Wheels in particular, of course, because of the terror, but you can see the Warp Lightning Cannons blasting GRIMGOR. They are going to do a little bit of damage, but thankfully GRIMGOR is not the biggest target in the world. Let's see if they're able to make solid contact here. Looks like a clean miss there, just going right over his head, so yep, you can see now the wall is going to be popped, and all across the front line, Greenskins is going to be charging in. Savage Orcs, unfortunately, these aren't the big uns who normally would trade quite well here, but the boys and so on going to do okay here, honestly. Rat Ogres don't have a whole lot of armor, so they will take quite a bit of damage in return there, and you can see the Squigs kind of making their way around this shipwreck on the side. Super cool shot getting in here on these Clan Rats. You can see the Skaven falling back to the artillery, but very nicely done here by Crabbling, getting around the back and actually getting onto the artillery crew. This unit of Clan Rat Spears won't be able to hold super well, especially while that wall was active. Now that it's worn off, they'll do better, but you can see just in general, Greenskins pushing forward. You know, that being said, of course, the Skaven are not out of this. We're starting to see some summons here. Looks like Brain Burst there. Clan Rat summons in the back line. Going to try and get on those Goblin Archers, and it does look like there's some magic unleashed there. This is not, what is that, Scorch, I believe it is? Don't see that spelled too often, but, or it might have just been the Plague Breath there. I guess Lore of Plague. Or, no, I believe that's actually the bound one from the Chariot, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a bound Scorch, but still, the Rats definitely losing out this flank pretty hard. In the center, things are going a bit well. They're actually trading pretty decently against like Black Orcs and stuff, but oh boy, here comes a juicy Foot of Gork. Probably not overcast, but right in the center of the rat lines, just eviscerates a whole bunch of rats. Unfortunately, the Warp Lightning Cannon is still online, but here come the Squig Hoppers who had just seen the spears off. Going to go ahead and shut that down. GRIMGOR, unfortunately, getting run over by Doom Wheels, which is, you know, pretty unfortunate. He's also kind of surrounded by rats here in the back line, but helping to protect against the rat summons in and of itself is going to be pretty useful. Thankfully for him, there's no Lord Skrolk, as with the Skaven, basically their option lords were anyone except Lord Skrolk, so he's not going to have to worry about the Libru Bubonicus. It's draining his life away. All he has to worry about mostly is the two Doom Wheels, both of which are still quite healthy, but you can see the Greenskins have just mopped the infantry fight super one-sided, and no surprise there, Skaven infantry just not able to hold up. The question is, can they now deal with the Skaven Death Star? And you can see the Death Star is starting to form up with the cart and the Doom Wheel and the Rat Ogres, all just standing on top of each other, providing a little bit of a monster mash here. Thankfully, the boys are more than willing to fight, at least for the moment, but once that terror starts to take hold, it could potentially cause some issues. Right now, though, most of the Greenskin troops are at pretty high leadership, so we'll see. Lore of Plague, though, means there's going to be plenty of potentially summons here, maybe some good area of effect spells as well, so we'll see. Right now, the balance power is pretty far in the Greenskins' favor, but you can see there's still plenty of battle left to fight. So that Doom Wheel going to be blasting some units out, trying to free up that Rat Ogre, and another really well-placed Scorch here. Going to be, didn't actually do a whole lot to those Black Orcs, so Might have been better placed on some of these lighter troops over here, but nonetheless, here comes a Plague Breath that is going to do a devastating amount of damage there in the center. Yeah, good stuff, especially against the Savage Orcs and the Orc Boys there. But you can see the Grace here himself not taking that much damage, but GRIMGOR is going to get in there. Unfortunately, GRIMGOR just has a similar mass problem to somebody like Gorbel, let's say, where he gets knocked around a lot, and because his attack animations are kind of slow, he just really, you know, he can't pin stuff down. Now he's going to get maybe a couple of attacks on this Doom Wheel here, and the attacks he is able to get will do quite a bit of damage, obviously. But unfortunately, ooh, looks like he might be hewing that Rat Ogre. Yeah, he must just got that guy right in the face. And again, promptly gets bowled over by another Rat Ogre, so a little bit unfortunate there. But yeah. Nonetheless, GRIMGOR is going to be making a stand here, just trying to wear down the Doom Wheels and everything, but you can see a lot of the infantry did get terrified away there. The terror is definitely becoming an issue, and the balance power has come back towards the center as GRIMGOR is trying to hold his pocket of Black Orcs here together, but the Black Orcs are getting worn down over time. You know, the repeated charges from the Doom Wheel and everything just standing on top of them, and the Clan Rats endlessly wearing them down has taken its toll. Black Orcs, though, still fighting here. Of course, their immunity to psychology means they're the only units that didn't get terrified away there. But a lot of the other Greenskin units starting to rally. The Skaven just don't have the numbers to push them off at this point. So you can see the Doom Wheel trying to get back to friendly positions here. And yeah, more Rat Ogres coming through, trying to finish off that Orc Shaman. But I don't think the Skaven Death Star is going to be able to finish this. So we'll fast forward a little bit through this mid-game. As the Death Star reforms a little bit here, you can see they are just about able to finish off that Orc Shaman, but a second wall goes down, and that is going to allow the Greenskins to get some extra speed and charge bonus. That being said, it's still going to be tough to keep up with some of these mobile units here, and yeah, Ceramus is going to be able to more or less choose the engagements that he wants because he has a mobility advantage. That being said, Squigs will be able to kind of get in here. They are immune to psychology, so they won't necessarily be terrified. Their leadership just is generally terrible, but you can see here Crabling doing a great job kind of forming up his back to the boat. He knows that this is you know, an impassable terrain piece, so he's going to use it as a bit of a bracing here. And yeah, you can see the Doom Wheel is going to come for the Greenskin Archers, but it's going to have to be careful fighting in the vicinity of these cannons that are still here. They can potentially have the mass stop up some of these mobile units, but looks like the Skaven player still playing it very patiently. Obviously wants to try and get a favorable engagement here and mop up isolated units. You can see he's going to go ahead and charge into these Orc Boys from the side and go ahead and charge from the rear. And it should be able to terrify them away pretty quickly. And yeah, you can see he is going to be very patient in trying to take them out here and potentially snipe out some other units. But looks like a little bit of a dodge Plague Breath there. But yeah, at this point the Skaven are going to have to come forward. And with GRIMGOR's buffs, they should be able to finish things off here. You can see GRIMGOR just about to get a couple hits there. Looks like we are going to see one more Clan Rat summon coming up here. Unfortunately, the Rat Ogres just not able to hold their leadership together. You can see the Goblin Archers are going to be firing probably at the, at the Grace here, doing some okay damage, nothing too crazy, but it is still going to be a bit of a kite game here. So you can see the Skaven player just doing everything he can to try and pick off isolated and units that are weaker and low on leadership, but it is still going to be tough. You know, anytime you stand and fight, especially on top of these Black Orcs, you're going to be taking hits. But yeah, nonetheless, Skaven player doing everything he can to try and come back, and the balance of power is not that far off, so that's why this is pretty understandable. But with the one Doom Wheel breaking, that's a lot of his hitting power gone right there. So if that goes off the side, which yep, looks like it did, that's pretty unfortunate. That does mean that one more of those big models is not going to be able to fight here, but GRIMGOR going ahead and pushing through. Ooh, does get a swipe in there on the back. Probably made some okay contact on that Doom Wheel there. And yeah, anytime GRIMGOR just gets a hit on any of these guys, it is going to do a pretty solid amount of damage. Let's see, Shaman gets a hit there. GRIMGOR unfortunately not able to get a hit. Oh, there he goes. Probably gets a hit there. And again, with each hit, these guys are going to get lower and lower. Looks like the Shaman came back. Going to throw down Fists of Gork on these Black Orcs here so they get a bit of extra combat stats. Interesting to not use that on GRIMGOR, but I guess the Black Orcs are actually going to be getting the surround here, potentially getting more hits in. So yeah, they are able to get a little bit more damage done and actually break this other Doom Wheel. So with that, the balance power has finally moved decisively in the Greenskins' favor. And what was a very long, atrocious, and grindy battle is going to be won by the Green Tide, and GRIMGOR, nonetheless, taking home a victory against a pretty nasty Skaven list. I mean, granted, it wasn't Lord Skrull, but still, Gracier, Lord Plague up on the bell, 2 Doom Wheels, pretty legit. So yeah, definitely an impressive victory for Crabling and GRIMGOR here. You can see one more Clan Rat Summon's actually able to break some of these Black Orcs here. The Shaman gets terrified, but GRIMGOR himself is just too strong. His leadership is still impeccable, despite the fact he's getting run over by the cart. Just his presence alone is enough to finish off the Skaven leadership here. So very well played to both players. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. Crabling, again, going to take home the victory there. And yeah, GRIMGOR himself didn't get a whole lot of kills, but he was able to get some good work done against some of the higher value targets there in the late game, especially like the Doom Wheel and the Doom Wheels and the Plague Priest there. You can see all of which got a ton of kills, 172, and that's not including the summons, you know, the kills from the summons, 158 and 171 for the 2 Doom Wheels. Other than that, though, Ceramis' army kind of underperformed. I guess 109 on these Rat Ogres. These guys did quite well, but the rest of the army struggled a bit. They kind of just got run over by this heavy rush from Crabling. 88 kills on the Orc Shaman. He was constantly dropping the Brain Bursters and so on. And Orc Boy is actually doing pretty decently in the front line, all things considered. 80 kills for the Savages, 78 for these ones, 71 for these guys, 101 for the Black Orcs, 91 for these guys, 127 for the 8-Peak Loons, which I didn't quite catch it, but Crabling had quite a few casts of the Fanatics that were quite decent. And of course the Squig Hoppers cleaning up quite a few kills as well, 176, 96, and 77 for the Durkit Squigs, which is not bad at all. So yeah, super fun battle. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.